Please, human help. My mom is trapped in the Sky Hunter's nest. The alien girl appeared at the edge of Marcus's camp just as the twin sons began their descent behind the crimson peaks of Valdris Prime. She was small, no taller than his waist, with skin the color of deep ocean water and eyes that shimmered like molten silver. Her breath came in ragged gasps, and strange, luminescent tears streaked down her angular cheeks. Marcus lowered his plasma rifle slowly, his finger easing off the trigger. In his 3 years as a colonial scout on this remote planet, he'd learned to distinguish between threats and those seeking refuge. This child was clearly the latter. "Please," she whispered in surprisingly clear standard, though her accent carried the melodic cadence of the native Valdrisians. "Please, human, you must help me. My mother, she's trapped. The Sky Hunter has her in his nest." Marcus set down his rifle and crouched her eye level. "Slow down, little one. What's your name?" "Lyra," she said, wringing her small, 3-fingered hands. "My name is Lyra, and my mother is Keeper Sera of the Valley Clan. We were gathering star moss by the eastern cliffs when the Sky Hunter came. It swooped down so fast, faster than the wind. It took her, carried her up to the Broken Spire. I tried to follow, but I couldn't climb high enough. I've been searching for help for 2 days, and you're the first one I've found who might be able to reach her." Marcus felt his chest tighten. He knew exactly what she was talking about. The Sky Hunters were massive, predatory creatures native to Valdris Prime. Winged beasts with 4 eyes and talons the size of combat knives. They nested in the highest, most inaccessible peaks, where the air grew thin and the rocks turned treacherous. The colonial administration had issued strict warnings. Avoid the Sky Hunters at all costs. They were territorial, deadly, and had been known to carry off livestock and occasionally people. "Lyra, I need you to understand something," Marcus said carefully. "The Broken Spire is incredibly dangerous. The climb alone could kill someone, and the Sky Hunter will defend its territory aggressively. I'm not saying I won't help, but I need to know, is your mother still alive?" Lyra's silver eyes blazed with determination. "Yes, I can feel her through our connection. We Valdrisians share a bond with our family. She's alive, but she's weak. She's injured and can't escape on her own. Please, human Marcus, I've watched you from afar. I've seen you climb the canyon walls, hunt the rock serpents, survive storms that would kill others. You're strong and brave. My mother saved your colony's children during the flood last season. Don't you remember? She used her knowledge of the underground channels to guide them to safety. Please, help me save her now." Marcus did remember. A flash flood had caught a group of young colonists off guard near the river delta, and a Valdrisian woman had appeared seemingly from nowhere, leading them through a network of caves to higher ground. The colony administrator had wanted to thank her formally, but she'd vanished before they could. If that had been Lyra's mother, then Marcus owed her a debt he could never repay in ordinary circumstances. He looked up at the darkening sky, then back at the desperate child before him. "All right, Lyra, we go at first light. The climb will take most of the day, and I'll need to prepare equipment. Can you show me exactly where on the spire the nest is?" Lyra's face transformed with hope, and she threw her thin arms around Marcus's neck. Thank you. Yes, I can show you everything. I've memorized every ledge, every possible path." They set out before dawn, Marcus loaded with climbing gear, rations, and his rifle. Lyra moved with surprising agility across the rocky terrain, her elongated feet perfectly adapted for the uneven ground. As they traveled, she told them about her people, how they'd lived on Valdris Prime for thousands of generations, how they communed with the land and understood its rhythms in ways humans never could. "Mother always said humans were like infant storms," Lyra said as they paused at a creek to refill water containers. powerful and loud, but not yet aware of their own potential. She said some of you, though, have old souls, souls that understand respect and balance. Marcus smiled despite his nervousness about the climb ahead. Your mother sounds wise. She is the wisest, Lyra said firmly. That's why I can't lose her. By mid-morning, they reached the base of the Broken Spire. Marcus tilted his head back, his stomach dropping as he took in the sheer vertical face of rock that stretched up nearly 1,000 meters. Near the top, he could see the dark opening of a cave, the Sky Hunter's nest. Are you sure she's up there? He asked. Lyra closed her eyes, her small face concentrating. Yes, I feel her. She's there. Marcus began the ascent, using every technique he'd learned from years of climbing. He hammered pitons into cracks, secured ropes, and created a path that Lyra could follow. The young alien climbed behind him with surprising confidence, her three-fingered hands finding grips he would have missed. Hours passed. Marcus's muscles screamed with fatigue, and the air grew noticeably thinner. His fingers bled from gripping sharp rocks, and more than once, his foot slipped on loose stone. But Lyra's quiet determination behind him, her whispered encouragements, kept him moving. They were 50 meters from the nest when the Sky Hunter appeared. It erupted from the cave, opening with a screech that split the air, its wingspan easily 10 meters across. Purple-black scales covered its serpentine body, and its 4 eyes fixed on the intruders with predatory intelligence. Marcus pressed himself against the rock face, pulling Lyra close. "Stay absolutely still," he whispered. The creature circled once, twice, then dove directly at them. Marcus waited until the last possible second before swinging himself and Lyra under a rocky overhang. The Sky Hunter's talons scraped against stone where they'd been moments before. It screamed in frustration and circled again. "I have an idea," Lyra said suddenly. "Mother taught me the song of peace. It's how we communicate with the ancient creatures. Let me try." Before Marcus could respond, Lyra began to sing. It was unlike anything he'd ever heard, a haunting, harmonic melody that seemed to resonate through the very rock itself. The Sky Hunter's flight pattern changed. It slowed, circling more warily now, tilting its massive head as if listening. Lyra's song continued, rising and falling in complex patterns. Marcus watched in amazement as the creature's aggression visibly diminished. Finally, it landed on a ledge above them and watched with what could only be described as curiosity. "It's not evil," Lyra explained quietly. "It was only protecting what it thought was its home. But it understands now. We mean no harm to its nest." With the Sky Hunter pacified, they completed the climb. Inside the cave, Marcus found Keeper Sera lying near the back, her leg badly broken and deep gashes across her side. She was barely conscious, but when she saw her daughter, her silver eyes filled with tears. "My brave little star," she whispered. Marcus fashioned a harness and carefully secured the injured Valdris woman. The descent was agonizingly slow and treacherous, made possible only by the elaborate rope system he'd created on the way up. The Sky Hunter watched their entire departure, making no move to attack, Lyra's song having forged an understanding between species. By nightfall, they reached the base of the spire. Marcus administered what medical aid he could, then carried Sera on a makeshift stretcher while Lyra walked alongside, holding her mother's hand. At his camp, Marcus used his emergency beacon to call for medical evacuation. As they waited, Sera squeezed his hand weakly. "You have an old soul, Marcus Webb," she whispered. "My daughter chose well." Lyra curled up beside her mother, finally allowing herself to cry with relief. Marcus sat back, exhausted beyond measure, but feeling something he hadn't felt in years. Purpose, connection, and the profound satisfaction of having repaid a debt of honor. The stars of Valdris Prime blazed overhead, and in their light, three beings from two different worlds rested together, bound by courage, compassion, and the universal language of family.